chat, guys. Like a really good okay, with love, we gotta have a little reality check. I swear, you gotta just be the best you can be, not anybody else. It's only you at the end of the day.
What is up, guys? It has been a hot minute. What is up, everybody? My name is Naja, aka the Voodoo Child, and this is a TRIBETEA segment. That is when you guys send in your stories, whether you need advice, you just want to have a good little kiki, you want somebody else's point of view, maybe you've been beefing with your friends on who's right, who's wrong. You can send it into here and we'll react to it. We'll give you some advice, okay? And this is a live segment, so shout out to the chat. I see everybody. What is up, Talia? What is up, Mari, Phyllis, Anaya, Casey? What's up? I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces in here. Hey, Hannah, friends. Yeah, I'm super excited. This is a good TRIBETEA if you watch these, because unfortunately I don't have any stories today with receipts. Oh shit, girl. I don't have any stories today with receipts. So please go and watch some other streams if you want to see like how we really get down over here. Today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different stories, and they all have to do with like family stuff, because you know it's the holidays officially. I missed y'all too. I'm trying to do better with coming on here every other week. So regardless of like what I have going on, you know. So shout out to everybody. If this is your first time catching me, I'm trying to get a better like schedule going back like how I used to. A little inside on my life right now, what I have been going through, child. So some of you guys know I went to EDC Orlando 2 weeks ago now, and I edited a whole after movie. Like I'm telling you, it's like an hour and 40 minutes, like a whole shebang. I was about to export it 2 days ago, and as I was picking my computer up, the hard drive cord was dangling with my hard drive with it. So picked it up, I'm like, oh my gosh, set it on a flat surface. Why did my whole hard drive get corrupted? And it's like, bitch. So yeah, at first I was all up in my feelings because I'm like, damn, I got to redo this video all over again. But I do have all of my files still. I have a rule of thumb. I don't delete my files until my project is done. So I still have all the footage. I am like 25% done with it. I've been re-editing it for maybe like 2 days now. Like it's pretty shitty. I'm not going to hold you. But the biggest kicker, and I didn't realize it until yesterday, and I was crying all day. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm so dehydrated. That's why I got this water. Like, my freaking wedding video, like the video that's not on YouTube, like my actual wedding video with like my family, my little cousin, my niece, like, was on that fucking hard drive, and I didn't back it up anywhere. My wedding photos, like, oh my gosh. What happened with Alexis? I need some good news. What's going on, chat? I'm seeing congrats, Alexis. What's going on? I need some good news. What happened, friend? Hey, y'all, I just found out I'm pregnant. Congratulations. Congrats, baby. I feel like I've known you for so long, parasocially. Like, I'm so glad for you. Like, all jokes aside, that made me feel a little bit better. Like, our good sis out here about to be a mother, okay? But yes, my wedding video was gone, right? So I literally been calling around trying to find people to get this hard drive back working. Why are they talking about $1,500? I'm trying to find this $1,500 that I'm supposed to have for a hard drive. Then I got on the phone with this, well, Daniel really got on the phone with this man who's like, I can't clock if he is, and I told y'all I'm not talking about politics no more, but unfortunately I live in a red state, so it is very much a part of my life. And I couldn't clock whether this dude knew that we were black, and I wasn't about to. So his business is he fixed these hard drives, but he does it out his house, and he's over here talking about, yeah, you know, I'm ex-military and I be getting these people, they be having all top-notch secret stuff on here, and this one man gave me $3,000, so I was the only one that he just yap. All I heard was ex-military working out my house, and you over here talking about the CIA and the FBI. You sound conspiratorial, like, and I'm not trying to go to your redneck ass house and you're like, oh, your name's Daniel. I thought you were like white. Like, I'm not trying to get, no. So I'm just like, one thing he did say with his yapping that was very helpful was, don't think so much of where it's saved. Think of where you sent it. So retrace your steps on where you sent the files, right? If y'all can't tell, like, this is like my active problem in life right now. So y'all say he crazy, but can he fix it? See, that's the key. Here, let me put the chat on the screen. That's the key. He over here talking about, oh, well, I had one girl come in and I told her that I could fix it, and I was working on it for like a month, and I found out I couldn't fix it, so I had to send it off to another company, and the company charged her $1,800, and she was like, well, I don't got that, so I just had to keep the hard drive. So if you're just gonna send it somewhere else, like, boy, bye. I'm not about to play with you. I'm not about to play with you, sir. And then he over here talking about my son works for the Secret Service. Well, your son needs to fix my hard drive, not you, because you doing a whole lot, sir. So I took his advice, though, and I was like, okay, let me think of who did I send the videos to? And I remembered I had a official website, and that's how I was sending my family the videos, because it was so big and the pictures and stuff, and it was all saved on there. So, like, I have my wedding video, I have my wedding rehearsal, like, I have everything except my EDC video. But I would much rather recut the EDC video that's like fresh in my mind, like it's exactly the same, than my wedding video that was cut a year ago. Like, I don't remember. And then what makes it even worse, I don't know if I told y'all this, but my videographer, and I don't give a damn, it is what it is. He can fight me. My videographer was booty, girl. My videographer was booty, and like, he sent me a cut of the video and I didn't like it. And the only video I was finding was the booty cut. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, when I tell y'all I was crying all fucking day yesterday, like, oh my gosh. So yes, I do have my videos and my photos. As of right now, we went to Best Buy and we bought like one of those data recovery things. And Daniel is downstairs like trying to get it rolling and spinning, because if I can get that EDC clip, I can get y'all video out today. Like, that would just be like, because I really wanted it out 2 days ago. But yeah, if I could get it out today, that'd be awesome. But if he can't hack into it, I'm probably not going to be able to get it out until like Friday or sometime this weekend, which freaking sucks. But there's one more month of November. It's just sucked because it's like blending into my Vlogmas schedule, right? Unforeseen things. I'm just letting y'all know this, because if you hear a grown man scream downstairs, out of excitement, that is what's going on. That means that the video is it's working. So enough about me. I know y'all don't mind. Okay, we got an update. It stopped spinning, but I got the whole bat spinning. Prayers. Yeah, we just need all the good energy, bruh. We just need all the good energy. Daniel down there working hard. So let's get into these stories, though. Enough about me. I know y'all don't mind when I yap, though. But all the stories today are going to be about family mishaps, family beef, family drama. Usually I don't get stories like these until after the holidays, like after Thanksgiving, that little gap between Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I don't know. I just got like an influx in October, September, October, of people saying they're having like issues with their family. So let's get into it. The first one is called TRIBETEA. I will not let my mother's mishaps affect my future. I know that's right. The second one is actually a scary story that didn't make it quite in time for October. And it's just called Last Year I Sent in a Scary Story and it didn't come through. So hopefully this one comes through. And I feel like I remember you. The third one is this is insane. So a family of predators. I'm going to tell you right now, is somebody who had a very strained relationship with their own mother. And like with age, I, learned, I would say, compassion, sympathy, as well as empathy, putting myself into someone else's shoes, and being able to see all the corners with my adult mind and really being able to understand what was going on. As somebody who still has a relationship with their mother, even though she wasn't perfect, I would never, ever, ever, ever tell somebody to keep fucking with a family member that is a predator. Like, no, because you're not safe. The people around you ain't safe. Like, what are we doing? That I would never tell somebody like, oh, nah, bro, that's still your cousin, though. That's still your uncle, though. That's still your daddy, though. That's still your mama. Like, nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Like, no. Nah, bruh. So before we even get into that story, I'm just telling you right now, like, you don't need to fuck with them. The second to the last one is just called My Biggest Red Flag. Okay, blonde. That's cute. I like your ombre, the blonde to brown. You look like Rosalina from the Naked Brothers band. Like, what, girl? What? Shout out to Little Flower Vagabond for the donation. Thank you so much. You guys do not have to donate, but I appreciate it. Big love for you, sis. I'll peep shop later. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I was going to say, if you guys want to support, please go to Shop Voodoo Child. This new vendor has been awesome. I've been hearing nothing but good reviews. Please tag me on Instagram so I can see when you guys get your stuff. Very high quality prints. So if you want to support me, you just buy from my shop. You do not have to donate on YouTube because YouTube likes to take their little cut, but I appreciate it nonetheless. But yes, my sis here looks like Rosalina from Naked Brothers band. That's crazy. And then this last one is also a family thing, separation from my mom. So moms are getting a lot of the heat. The mamas is getting some heat, okay? So let's go to this first story. I won't let my mom's mishaps affect my future. Make sure y'all got y'all water. Make sure you got your blizzies, whatever. That's another thing I haven't said publicly. I actually quit the blizzies. You know, I'm a paper girly now, and I also quit. You know, my stomach's on flat. It's only been a week, but the stomach is on flat. Okay, like, so I'm already like easily irritable. So when this hard drive shit was going on, baby, I was not in a good mood. So do whatever you got to do to relax. That's all I'm saying by that. Whether you hitting a yoga pose right now or if you're running on the treadmill, because I've been catching myself doing a lot more walks now too. But let's get into it. Tribe T, I will not let my mom's mishaps affect my future. Hey, Naja. Hey, friend. I hope you're doing well. If this gets read on live, you can call me Nadia. Okay. I've been watching your videos since the Zodiac Call Center series. Yes, ma'am. I rediscovered your channel my sophomore year of university. I know that's right, university tings. And I have been watching every single video since. I've gone over this submission a few times to make sure it's not a book, but it is a little bit lengthy. This is my first submission. Well, thank you so much for writing in. I could really, really use some advice from you and the tribe. I am a 21-year-old college student in my last year of undergrad. Okay, so you just was like school. You did not take a break. You went immediately into it. She said her goal is to become a psychologist. I know that's right. And I want to get my PhD or my doctor. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm getting that degree though. Oh, you're saying you either want a PhD or a psych doctorate? PSYD. Somebody in the medical field put me on game. PhD. I know what a PhD is. That's a doctorate. Or it's just a psych degree. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Let me know. So they said, while everybody is looking forward to graduation, I am terrified because I don't know how my life is going to be afterwards. That is so real. Regardless of what you're doing. Yeah, I agree, Kay. I agree, Key. I think it's just a general psych degree because I'm like, what else could it be? A doctorate of psychiatry? T. So they said, I have dealt with housing instability since I was 14. That makes sense why you went straight to school. Okay. During the transition from middle school to high school, my mom gave up my childhood home. Oh my gosh. She gave it up because she had to quit working due to getting sick. And my dad decided to withhold child support. Oh, not court mandated at this time. My dad is a whole other story, but I'm pretty sure he's a narcissist. And I mean that for real, like a clinical narcissist. So not to I'm gonna wait, because when it comes to like family stuff and like trauma and shit, like I like to hear the whole story before I interject. Like I said earlier, if it's really, really bad, I will never tell you to keep somebody in your life that is dragging you down, right? But what I will say right here is, why do you know all of this? Like, why do you know that the daddy withholding child support? Like, why? This is what causes what's it called? Financial insecurity in children, is when you are letting them too much into the game room. Like, why does this 14-year-old know that we're losing the house because daddy didn't pay child support? Like, you get what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I get it. Kids ask why. I get kids ask why, and you know, but we don't got to age appropriate why. Why? Because now, when you make kids aware of bills, like that's something my mom did. Like, she made me just very much aware of bills, but she never gave me a dollar amount. But how my mom spoke to me growing up, I just assumed that things were way more expensive than they actually were, just because of like how she was, you know. So I don't know, bro. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that anybody, you know, but I'm just peeping that. So as a result of selling the house, or losing the house, my bad, she was having a hard time. Oh, because the dad was not paying the child support, she was having a hard time keeping up with the house with the lack of money for me. Another elephant in the room, child support is for the child. Mamas, you should have had rent together. Like, child support was supposed to be for your kids to have clothes, food, all that stuff. You should not be depending on child support to keep the house going. You know, so I'm already seeing a little toxicity going on. But y'all said, well, she said the mama has like health problems. Y'all don't got no other family that could have stepped in to help out. Like, this is just sad. Here we go. Thankfully, my cousin was kind enough to let us live with her that summer until my mom could find a new place. Luckily, she did 3 days before I started high school. Okay, so before you started school, you were in a new house. Things were going well, and my mom got a new job. She was getting ready to buy the house from our landlord, but her employer, who was also her close friend, tragically passed away. Oh my gosh. This was really hard on my mom, but as always, she made sure I had a roof over my head and I was all right. She took up doing Uber and made really good money off of it. Okay, so mama is trying. She's like, all right, look, we not dependent on this child support anymore. We don't need to. We're going to make it work. Unfortunately, our landlord raised our rent and my mom could not afford it. The price difference would have not been an issue if my dad was paying child support. Again, I'm sorry, I gotta be that person, because it's just like, why do you know this information? And now it's come to the point, now that your mama is like aware that this dude ain't shit, right? And that he's not gonna pay that child support. How come every time we down and out, oh, it's your daddy's fault because he paid the child support? Mamas. And this is why they tell you, regardless of if you're married, like if you have a kid, you need to have a kid for you. Like, if you should not be popping out no kid if you by yourself can't take care of the kid. Even if your husband is husband of the year, old ladies will tell you, have a child for you because you want to have a child. Do not have a child for any other reason, because this is crazy. I'm so sorry you had to go through this. And I completely understand why you feel like that housing insecurity, because it's like every time, there's never a real reason why y'all are in that situation. It's just, oh, that's your daddy's fault. Yeah, your daddy got us fucked up. What? What? Like, your daddy ain't shit. Mind you, your daddy ain't shit. And it is true that the parent that stays usually gets the bad rap. However, we got to take some accountability here, mama. Like, if anything, I would just tell my kid, like, bro, the job market is just really bad right now. Like, it's just bad. Why are we keep bringing up this non-factor of a man? You get what I'm saying? I don't know. Shout out to everybody that just caught a live. Make sure you like the video on your way in. See, your mama got you way too much in the game room. The mom let her know that the price difference between the rent raise is exactly what her dad used to give her in child support. Why do we know this? We had to move, like, I'm not even trying to like brag or nothing, but as somebody who also had like financial insecurities, like I was very much aware that my mom was a single mother and like I couldn't do certain things because there was no extra income in the house type shit. Like my mom didn't get on her hustler shit until I was like 13, bitch. So like all that other stuff, I was very much aware I could not have things because I had a single parent, but I never knew how much the rent was. I never knew the dollar amount of the electric. I never knew the dollar amount of the water bill, the Wi-Fi. I never knew that growing up. All I knew was that shit's expensive. My mom by herself, I can't get no, what are those things called? Build-A-Bear, bitch. I can't get a Build-A-Bear, right? So, I don't know. This is just a lot of pressure to put on a kid. We had to move within 3 weeks in the middle of the summer, a week before I started my junior year in 2019. One thing I will say about my mom is although times were tough, I could tell how much she fought to make sure I was okay, and I really admired her strength and thanked her for it endlessly. No, that's what's up, because like I said, the parents that stay usually get the most shit. Like, your mom actually looked and went for a job. She actually drove the Uber. Like, you know, she tried. So, even during the pandemic, she found a way for us to live comfortably by the grace of God. Yes, ma'am. When I was graduating high school, it was the happiest time of my life. I got in my dream university, graduated with a 4.5. For the first time in my life, I felt genuine happiness, but all of that only lasted for a few days. During this time, our lease was ending. My mom and I would look on websites like Zillow, Trulia, everything to see what places were available because she wanted to make sure I liked it. Honestly, at this point, mama, I'm grown. I'm going to the university. I'm going to need you to find a place that's for you. Like when I moved out, I want to say I lived with my mom for 1 year after I graduated, and then I moved out on my own. And she moved out simultaneously, and she did not move into no 3-bedroom apartment. My girl moved into a 2-bedroom and lived within her means type thing, you know? Like, when you in that situation, you got to do what you got to do. So, yeah, if I was you, I would just been like, Mama, you don't even got to worry about me, bitch. I will sleep in the pull-out couch. Like, you don't even got to worry about me. Trigger warning for the next section. We're going to be talking about mental health and stuff like that. They said they're not going to go into many details, but for the sake of time, the summer leading into my freshman year of high school broke me. My perception of my mother was shattered, and I have not seen her the same since. What did she do? I don't even know who she is anymore. I had to beg and plead her to look for places so we wouldn't be homeless, and she would scream and yell at me, as well as give me, and mind you, this is her freshman year of high school. So what happened to your graduation? So you're just like going back to give some context? Okay. She would scream and yell at me as well as give me the silent treatment for bringing up our housing. I packed up our whole entire house by myself while she left me at home all day during the summer working in another state. She kept pushing our lease, and every day I woke up in fear that it would be my last day in that house. This period of my life was so hard and totally ruined my self-esteem. I had many depressive episodes, unhealthy behaviors. I felt uncared for. Oh, man. Yeah, nothing's worse than feeling like a freaking burden when you're a kid. We got into screaming matches, and she kept telling me that I would have a place to live, a.k.a. my dorm. No, like, she's not wrong, but if this was happening your freshman, I got a little confused because are you saying your freshman year of college or your freshman year of high school? Because I think you meant to say college, because you said you were really, really happy. You graduated with your 4.5, but the happiness did not last long. So I think you meant to say your freshman year of college. Because in that sense, I also agree, like, you're on your own now. You need to let your mom be on her own. And in a weird way, I feel like it's less stress on her shoulders for you to be in the dorm and her really just having to depend on herself, right? But it's also an eye-opener that your mom probably is not the most financially responsible as you thought, because she's put the blame on your daddy for all these years, right? But yeah, I think you meant, I think we just got it mixed up and you meant college, because how we get all the way back to freshman year? So now here's the situation that led her to where she is today. My freshman year, I was extremely depressed. I made good grades and I got a good footing in college life. So yeah, she did mean college. But I just felt so empty inside. Like the whole lectures would go by and I would find my computer screen blank with notes. I'd zone out. Luckily, my mom did find a place for us to live. The gag is, unfortunately, bro, there are a lot of homeless people on college campuses and that's their home. Like, it just is what it is. Like, bruh, I would not have been stressing about that. Your mom is a grown woman. She's been doing it way longer before you. Like, I get being concerned for your mother's safety, but y'all have family. Like, I don't know. I feel like your mom kind of like groomed you to be a worrywart about this situation. Then my mom found a place for us to live. So when winter break came, I had somewhere to go. But she used my credit card to pay for the deposit on the place and to pay rent for some months. Oh, see, this is why, man. I still have $15,000 worth of debt to my name that's not even mine. Baby, I don't know how serious you are or how much you really don't fuck with your mama no more. I'm going to wait till we get to the end of the story, but I'm going to tell anybody out there right now, if you're in that situation, I'm going to need you to open up a claim and press charges on that family member, bruh. I'm going to need you to press charges on that family member. If you have the proof, I'm going to need you to press charges on them. I'm going to need you to get the evidence of you paying for your dorm, right? Coinciding with that lease. Yeah, no. Be like, there was no way that I would do that. That makes no sense. And then it also shows your mom exactly. Your mom took your social, your birth certificate, whatever, to get that apartment. Like, nah, bruh. Right. It's the sound of that is a felony. Look, it is the sound of the police. Y'all are funny. That's insane. She just ruined my credit score. Luckily, I was able to pay 2 of the cards off thanks to my financial aid refund check that she decided not to take, as she feels entitled to my money and thinks she deserves it. Yes, so that's messed up, because that refund check is supposed to be for you to buy food, to, on campus. That's crazy. So the next part is very complicated and something I'm trying to cope with. The final nail in the coffin was when my grandmother got sick. My grandmother, may she rest in peace, refused to let my grandpa take care of her and honestly did things purposely to make herself sick so my mom would take care of her 24/7. Now that is a whole tea. This prevented my mom's ability to work because my grandma could not be left alone at all. She would claim she couldn't get up and down the stairs, but when she would come home, she would be in the kitchen eating something not healthy. While I wanted my grandma to get better, this was affecting me also, because my mom not having a job was going to ruin her ability to keep our house, and it did. I'm glad that okay, so I guess now you're graduating and you're like, where am I going to live? But I'm going to need you to lean on other family members other than your mom. Like, I feel like you and your mom have an enmeshed relationship because you're very, very trauma bonded, and she let you way into her game room as when you were a child, and she should not have. There are some boundaries blurred. Like, she shouldn't have told you about the bills, your daddy's child support, all that stuff, right? You're an adult now. You're your own person. You can go and live with a friend. Like, I get the feeling of wanting to have a home to come back to, but the harsh reality is a lot of us, even us watching, we don't have a family home to go back to. This economy is shit. A lot of us live in apartment to apartment to apartment, lease to lease to lease to lease. You're blessed if you get to stay in one spot for a long time. A lot of people's childhood homes are owned by the Chinese government and are leased out. Like, a lot of us don't have a home to go back to anymore, but home is where the heart is, head ass. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to need you to stop depending on your mother, right? And go and build family. You're your own person now, right? So, let me see. Where did I leave off? So this left her with complicated feelings towards her grandmother, right? Right, like the parent-child. That's what it's giving right now. So essentially, I felt worthless to my mom because she fought so hard to make sure my grandma was okay, stopped working, gave up our house after dealing with this instability for so long, but left me to figure things out by myself. I was alone for the holidays, and I felt and still do feel abandoned by her. So this just came on my spirit, so I just got to say it. I just got to say it, bro. I like your title because your title is I don't want to end up like my mom and make the same mistakes, right? And with that, I don't know why this just came on my spirit. I got to say it. There are certain type of people who don't know how to uphold certain responsibilities and they don't take accountability. I don't know about any of y'all, but there are signs before you're homeless. There are signs before the house goes up. Like, you really have to be neglectful. There's a reason why during the pandemic and during COVID, there was like blasphemy when it came to the landlords, because these landlords were hiking up prices for no reason and kicking people out, right? And that was valid. You said you did go through that experience with your mom as well, but then your mom blamed it on her baby daddy and not the economy. But anyway, there are certain type of people. I know a few in my life. I even fucked around and got an apartment with one who, unfortunately, homelessness does not scare them, bro. Like, that shit does not scare them. It just don't scare them, bruh. Like, I've known people that got evictions out the ass, that got a scam to get to the next space. Sure, they're not actively in my life, but it's like, I'm just aware that these things are happening, right? There's no reason why somebody should be not knowing where they're gonna live every fucking time a lease is up. Like, you should be looking for an apartment 4 months, 3 months before your lease is up. Like, she's too grown to be doing this, bro. And I feel like her instability, her abnormal instability, has you thinking that this is normal, right? And you're scared that you're not going to be able to survive out here. Baby, you got a PhD. Like, it may take you a little bit to get into somebody's office, but like, you're going to be good. You've lived on your own. You've kept your dorm. You've used your financial aid to pay your rent for your dorm. I'm sure you have cell phone bills. Like, you're good. You may have your mom's DNA, but you have already taken the different steps to not be that way. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if y'all know what I'm talking about. There's just a certain type of person who just does not give a fuck about being homeless. They don't care about sleeping on somebody's couch. They don't care about the eviction notice on the door. Like, it just don't scare them. Like, those people scare me. And I couldn't imagine being raised by somebody like that. Like, I get why you are anxious about that, right? Like, zero drive to be independent. Like, they do not care about being homeless. Them people that be on TikTok and stuff, and bruh, they just don't fear that shit. Not to mention, this lady cut my phone service. I had 2 lines because my second line was my dad's, and he always threatens to disconnect my phone at any time. She was screaming at me about it and bullied me into giving her $50 I don't have. These are extra details. I would see my hyper independent Gemini ass. I would give both of them the phone, go to Boost Mobile and get an iPhone for like $30 a month, and you hit me up. Fuck a phone, work both ways. They have successfully, both of your parents have successfully parentified you. Okay? You need to traumatize them bitches back. All right? You need to traumatize them hoes back. You need to start taking charge of your life for real. Like, talking about you got 2 phones because these motherfuckers can't even come together and call one phone number. Like, they got you way too much into their life and their drama. Like, they are doing the fucking most. Ooh, I would have got a Cricket so fast. I would have got a Metro so fast. Like, good luck finding me. Ooh, a little drop just got my eye. Good luck finding me. So since December of 2022, I have been homeless and my mom has not done anything about it. Now, you might be saying, how can I be homeless? How can I be homeless if she lives at my grandma's house? Baby girl, hold my hands when I say this. You are not homeless. Your mama is homeless. You are doing what you're supposed to do. You're at school, living on campus. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Now, if the census comes around and asks you, then yeah, you could click off that you're homeless. But baby, you're doing better than your mama at school. Like, please stop. Words have power. Please stop saying that. Your mama is homeless. Damn. And even that, she's couch surfer homeless. She's not even like at the shelter homeless. Oh my gosh. My grandparents' house is not really suitable for anyone to live in. It should honestly be condemned at this point. Additionally, the area they live in is so bad. I've had mental breakdowns about it. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I have mental breakdowns about visiting. As my sophomore year came to, you don't got any friends you could chill with during the... My old roommate was in your situation. Not so much her parents, didn't know how to handle their money. More so like they didn't want to fuck with their parents' rules, so they got kicked out. And every winter break, summer vacation, they would just kick it with a friend for like 2 weeks and then go back to school. Like, you got to build your own family as you get older, unfortunately. Like, when you have family like this, you have to build your own family up, bro. You got to. They said, luckily, I was able to score a summer RA job, and I'm so grateful for the people who gave me that job. That's what's up. There's more info I could give you, but here I am about to finish my senior year, and I have no idea what to do. I don't have any money saved. I don't know how to get an apartment. Don't know how to drive. I go to school in NYC, so I just never learn. Well, just stay in New York, girl. My credit score is messed up, and I'm at a loss on how to be fully independent because I don't know how. I've tried to make a safety plan, but I can't figure it out, and it's so hard because it'll cause problems with my mother. You need to cut off mommy dearest, baby. You have to. And I know that you said your dad is a narcissist. There are different types of narcissism, bro. Your mom's low-key giving covert. The type of narc that talks very sweet, but it's a backhanded sweet. Very passive-aggressive. Very much, if I'm going down, we all going down. Very crab pot. Like, you need to live your own life. Your mother is a grown woman. She will be fine. She's been fine. If my rule of thumb is, if she's not tripping, why are you tripping, right? If she doesn't give a fuck, you can't give a fuck. Because if you giving more fucks than she give a fuck, that's when your mental health is gonna decline, right? Gwendolyn in the chat says most schools have programs to help when you're in these type of situations. My advice to you, we're not done with this story yet, but my advice to you would be to, and I know your mom didn't teach you this because how she be living, but you need to be planning at least 4 months, 5 months. I wouldn't even do a 3-month when it comes to you graduating. I would do like 4 or 5 months ahead of you graduating to figure out what you're going to do and where you're going to go for housing. You need to worry about just you, not your mama. If you're in NYC and you want to stay in NYC, they have a lot of like flyers around with people renting rooms, stuff like that. You're better off looking on foot than you are online when it comes to the city. I would look out for you. I would look out for you. Get established. Do you. You need to live your life. And then once you are established, then you can go back to the trenches and visit people if you must. But I guarantee you, you're not even going to want to go back. I guarantee you're not even going to want to go back. But if you must, right? Shout out to the mods. What's up, everybody that just came in here? When I try to be independent, she misleads me. That's what I'm saying. That's that crab pot covert shit. She purposely discourages me and withholds info. I remember asking, how do I get an apartment? And she completely shot me down, talking about how it's too much money and I can't do that, etc., etc. She's made me too reliant and dependent on her, despite her not being able to give me anything but emotional support here and there. I'm scared that when I graduate, I'm going to be homeless and my future is going to be ruined. She claims she's going to open a business soon. Baby, you can't even work for somebody else. How are you going to start a bit? Like, bruh, yo mama pissing me off, bro. Oh my gosh. She's been talking about this freaking business for 2-3 years now and still nothing. She talking about we're going to move to another state and I should apply to school there and live at home. I'm not trying to be Cinderella and I'm not falling for this false narrative. I'll believe it when I see it. I can't live in the environment she's in right now at my grandparents'. If I engage in self-destructive behaviors and nearly off myself because of being left in the house alone, I don't even know. I can't be there. If it wasn't for getting into my dream school, I'm not sure I'd be here typing this to you right now. See, don't say that, friend. Don't get that worked up about it. Like, man, look, when I tell you you are okay, your mama's just not. And if I had $1 for every person that told me when I was trying to move out that it was going to be too fucking expensive and I couldn't do it, and if I had $1 for every person that was telling me that had ulterior motives, like, I would be rich. I have some hope that maybe I'll have stable housing through my school if I get this job in their housing department, but it's not guaranteed, nor is my acceptance into my school's master's program. I truly could use some help and advice. I don't really know what to do and where to look for help or even what questions to ask. I apologize this was so long, and I really appreciate you taking the time to read this and help out. Thank you so much. And once again, congrats on getting married. Thank you so much. Congrats on your school. And I remember seeing the notification on YouTube and screamed, so happy for you. Have a good day, evening, or night whenever you read this. So I do like that you have applied to the school's housing department. I know it's not guaranteed, but you know as well as I know, if you fluff that letter up and you tell them you don't got nowhere else to go, they'll work some kinks out for you. Now, if you do want a backup plan, this is what you do. You can go on foot, stay in the state of New York, and try to find some flyers. Try to find some flyers of like some women looking for roommates, maybe somebody renting a room, things like that, just so that you don't feel overwhelmed. Because if you are still in school, you're still going to get the financial aid, right? So you can use that financial aid, pay up some months in rent, right? Get a job. You're going to have to get a job. I know your mama be getting jobs whenever it's convenient and then blames the world on when she stops going because people get sick. That's another thing that covert narcs be doing. They like using sicknesses like, oh, I'm sick, they're sick, we're sick, so we can't. And it's like, girl, you always sick. What are you talking about? Right, Keith, somebody always needs a roommate in New York to help with the bills. It's so expensive. And girls usually don't want to, or femmes in general, usually would like to keep it, just for your safety, girls only, right? But that's something that you need to be looking into. You sent me this in October. You need to be looking at that right now. Like if you're graduating next spring, you need to be looking at that right now, figuring that out right now. Now, if you want to go the traditional route, like if you already have a stable job and everything, go on apartments.com, forrent.com. They have things like that. You can go that way, the traditional route. And I'm only saying this because you've never gone apartment hunting before. I also agree with Girl Luigi in the chat. During your house hunting, apartment hunting process, I would highly, highly advise blocking your mother. Shit, I would advise blocking your father also, just for this time period so you can get your shit together, right? For you, without having anybody's negative influence, because you said you don't want to live like her, right? Your mom is really giving me covert narc vibes because it's like she wants to live vicariously through you. You are a part of her. So therefore, getting housing for you is going to be hard because it's hard for her. When that is not the case, you are educated. You could do it, bruh. And realistically, there's nothing to lose. She doesn't have shit. She doesn't have a home. She doesn't pay for your phone no more. It's like, what do you have to lose? But let me see. What does the chat say? Some of y'all are saying this sounds like my mom. If she doesn't Leave it will never end. I had no choice but to go no contact. She damn near ruined my marriage. Damn. Sienna says, friend, once you get your own place and that sink or swim kicks in, you will figure it out. No, seriously, I'm not going to hold you because my mom wasn't as bad as yours. But when I lived on my own, the first thing I thought was, damn, this shit wasn't as expensive as I thought. I could have been did this. What? I have been gaslit. I have been bamboozled. When you and then you really start thinking like, damn, I know you're going to have that thought like, damn, bitch, it was that hard to recognize an eviction notice and prepare us so that I don't have to know what's going. You know how many kids have gotten evicted that don't realize they've been evicted just because their parents have, molded the situation to be age appropriate so they don't know, like, bruh. Let's see. I'm gonna become a drill rapper. Child. A mess. Darian says, my mom kept telling me that I needed to find a roommate because I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. I'm going on year 3 living by myself. No, seriously, do not let someone's fears become your own. I moved into one apartment and my mom was like, oh my God, how are you going to afford this? Blah, blah, blah. Girl, I lived there as long as I could. And I didn't get kicked out because of money. I got kicked out because the neighborhood was weird. And the floors were made out of glass. Like, what the fuck? Erms is saying you leaving is the only option if you want a genuinely happy life. Right. It will surprise you how quick a narc will drop you when you aren't following their game plan or following in line with their BS. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just need to block her and then pop up with all your shit and be like, yeah, so this is what I'm doing. Now, listen to me carefully. When you get on, and when I say get on, I mean get on your own 2 feet. Do not, hold on, I gotta go zoom in. Do not let that bitch live with you. I'm sorry I'm calling your mama a bitch, but don't let her live with you. Don't let her live with you. If you want to let your mother live with you, give it 20 more years to where you're 10 years into your career and probably have 10 years into like a home that you get what I'm saying? You move your mama into your home out of grace. You don't move your mom into your first apartment so y'all could struggle together. Please don't do it. I see the mistake all the time. Don't do it. Back to the chat. Don't do it. Don't even tell her your address, bro, because she's going to start popping up like it's hers. Watch. The same way you said your daddy a narcissist, like clinical definition, birds of a feather flock together, bro. We all have a little range of narcissism in us. We're all human. But sometimes when the victim is finally left alone, they take on certain traits and it just gets exasperated. Because why is your mama and your daddy doing the same shit to you separately? Isn't that weird? Isn't that interesting? Jay said those negative thoughts might cause you to act in a way that leads you to those outcomes you're afraid of. You got this, girl. That's what I'm saying. You got it. You got the degree. You got the drive. Like, I believe in you. I think you'll do just fine. You got more points than the average person. Symphony says, please make sure your mom doesn't claim you on those taxes either. That happened to me. No, for sure. You really do need to, and I'm sure your mother didn't tell you anything about taxes because that's what her scheming ass type usually do. Or maybe she did because she let you in the game room about child support. But yeah, I'm going to need you to file your own taxes. I'm going to need you to make sure you're filing your own taxes, okay? They have the official website, us.gov. They have an official tax website. Don't use TurboTax anymore, child. Like, it's a scam. You can literally file your own taxes. It's super easy. All you do is put in your school stuff because somebody has to pay taxes for that financial aid. So that's why your mom probably also felt entitled to it. I would look into that. I feel like she probably is filing you on her taxes still. I would look into that. Thanks for that, because I didn't even think about that. Emza said, try to be optimistic and believe in yourself always. That part. Don't let her guilt tripping you to take over your life again. I know that's right. I know that's right. Yeah, we all believe in you. Look into that now. If she pisses you off and does you dirty, I would definitely file a police report about that. The sad thing is there's no getting around it. if you want to clear off your credit without being at fault, like, you could pay for it, but I genuinely just would not do that. Like, you're cleaning up her mess. It's no getting around it. If you did not take that credit card out, that's fraud. There's no getting around it. You either going to be a sucker and pay for it, or you got to report the fraud. And then it goes back to, what do you have to lose? Because it's like, what are you gonna do? Not talk to me? Like, girl, every time I talk to you is something negative. I don't know. I think you're gonna do just fine though on your own. Please leave some advice in the comments. I'm seeing a lot of you guys say that you had a similar situation. Please leave her some advice. Thank you so much for writing in. And, you know, wishing you all the luck on your endeavors. I really do think you could do it. You've been on your own this whole time and don't even realize it because you've been so stressed with your mother not being able to pull her own weight as an adult in the world. Like, you've been pulling your own weight this whole time. And I agree with Jay. I'm going to need you to lock that credit card. I'm pretty sure she already maxed it out, because if that's like one of your first cards, I don't see them giving you. No, they got up to $15K. So I would freeze that shit for sure. So let's get into this spooky story that I didn't get to last week. Oh, character work in the chat says, you'd be surprised how easy it is to get actual fraud removed. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just gonna have to throw your mama under the bus because she did what she did. She did what she did. What? Sienna said her mama used to put her on the Comcast bill when she was 8. Yeah, you gotta check everything. You gotta check everything. So let's get into this scary story. Oh my God, look at you. Okay, Hello Kitty Pumpkin Patch. You look so cute. Are these your babies? Look at your babies. Y'all are all matching. Okay, boy mom, I see you. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I love when y'all send me pictures. Okay, hey Naja girl. Hey tribe. Hey friend. This is my first submission and I'm so excited. I'm watching the 4-hour live and just had to write in. I've been watching you since high school, girl. Nipple piercing video gang. Damn. You are a whole mama. You've been watching me since you were a baby. Also, disclaimer police. Oh, disclaimer. Grammar police. Please leave me be. Oh my gosh. I am 25. I am a mommy of 2 beautiful boys. I am a Leo, big Leo gang. Chat, watch your mouth. Shout out to all my Leos. Make sure you put your sign in the chat. Shout out to my Scorpios also. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my Sagittarius as well. Shout out to my Sages. So I'm actually going to submit 3 short stories rather than sending in multiple short stories. And they're all spooky, but unrelated, and they've all just stuck with me. So, sorry if this is a little long. Okay, so this story takes place back in 2018. I was 18, and I've always been a spooky girl, horror movie, books, games, TV shows, you name it. I'm all for it. Even with that, I had never really had my own personal, like, paranormal experience until one day. For context, my mother, me, and my oldest sister moved to the house I currently stay in today when I was about 13, and we took some of my middle sister's stuff with us to store it for her. It was a bunch of normal 20-something-year-old belongings like makeup, DVDs, etc. But in one of the drawers, my good sis had a Ouija board. See, I just always knew better as a kid to just not fuck with stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't even fuck with Ouija board earrings, Ouija board keychains. Like, phone cases. I just knew better. Like, bitch, I'm not about to be a portal. Oh my gosh. She says she got it from Toys R Us. I remember that. Real ones remember. All my Tumblr girlies, the real ones remember when Toys R Us was selling the Ouija boards because everybody was taking film photographs at the Target and shit, like, of these Ouija boards, and some were like pink and frilly. Let me know if y'all remember that era. It was in the 2010s and they were selling Ouija boards at the Toys R Us. True story. Look it up. I swear. Please don't leave me hanging. Somebody tell me they remember. Look. And I just remember being like, these are so cute, but I'm just not going to do that to myself. He said that's probably why they shut down. Not the glow in the dark one. Y'all are playing with fire. They're talking about rest in peace, Toys R Us. So I pretty much forgot about it for a while. After that, I just went on about my life per usual until one day. This girl, when I tell you, I would have put that shit outside, like in a shed. Like, I would have put that shit in the doghouse, bitch. Like, no, get out of here. This was during a period where my oldest sister had moved out and was in a horrible relationship. And the guy she was with had 2 kids. A boy and a girl. I forgot the girl's age, but she was definitely around 13. Oh, I forgot your sister's older. Okay. My sister and her stepdaughter came over one night to hang out with my mom and I, and somehow we end up talking about the damn Ouija board. We decide to pull it out and use it. What the fuck? No. Baby's first Ouija. Like, what are we doing? So we get the whole setup going. I'm talking candles, ring. Are y'all dumb? Turn the lights off. It sat in a circle. And we put 2 fingers on the little thingy. And we recited something along the lines of, is there anybody in the room that wants to speak with us? It couldn't have been more than a minute before the thingy starts moving. But it moved over to yes. We asked if it wanted to hurt us, and it said no. Now I'm sure we tried to gather details about like the age and the name. And I felt like we ended up saying it was like a young girl. Honestly, once we got over the shock and disbelief of this seeming to actually be working and stopped swearing, none of us were moving it. We went around the circle and asked her a bunch of questions. And I actually remember her being really kind and sweet. And somehow we ended up getting on the topic of my sister's husband. And y'all, why was Lil Miss Thing spilling some tea? My sister asked the little girl's spirit what the name of the woman was he cheated with. My sister already knew, but no one else in the room alive knew. Y'all, why did it spell out that lady's first name? So, like, I'm so confused about the spirit world. Like, how do y'all know? That's when it started to get a little scary. And it was real for everybody. But then it started to spell something else. It was another woman's name. Except this time my sister looked shocked because apparently she knew about the first girl. But that second one hit different because not only did she not know there was a second one, but it was her friend's name. Oh, wow. Not the messy boots. Ghost. Awful, I know, but now she is happily divorced and remarried. Okay, so maybe the ghost just, yeah, that's pretty freaking scary. That's scary, but I'm glad that you guys got a girl's girl ghost. Y'all got a girl's girl ghost, a girly pop ghost, and not a scary, I want to pinch your eyeballs ghost. Oh my gosh. Ghost is a girl's girly. So this is the second creepy story. This one is shorter. So as I mentioned in the last story, I discovered the Ouija board for the first time and used it in my home, which is a no-no. But you know, it's in true I got to learn the hard way fashion. I had to break not only the same rule again, but one of the most important rules. Do not use it alone. See, I didn't even know that rule. I just know don't use it. I didn't know there was levels to the usage. Yes, I am stupid. So I was bored at home alone one day, probably a few weeks after the first use with my family, and decided, F it, why not? So I went and got it, brought it downstairs, sat down under the TV. What in the poltergeist are you doing? This old TV cabinet we used to have, I remember the location so vividly because I'll never forget this experience. It scared the crap out of me. So I sat down, took the Ouija board out the box, placed the little thingy on top, took a deep breath, and asked if there was anyone who wanted to talk. And it moved to yes immediately, but not in like a rush, if that makes sense. But as soon as I asked, it just quickly went to yes. Then it moved back to the middle of the board. I asked the same question we did last time. I said, do you want to hurt me? Naja, Tribe, When I tell you that thing flew to the word yes, no. That's what you get. Like, that's with this. I almost wanted to cry. Like, it was such a surreal feeling. I was alone and I'm physically experiencing something. Like, I had my fingers so slightly on top of it and something just ripped my hands to the word yes. My heart dropped to my ass. I said goodbye. You have to when closing the Ouija board, by the way. I said goodbye. I folded the board up and I put it in the box and put it away. I have not touched it since, and that was 5 years ago. I got babies now. I got to keep us protected, and I don't want to be messing with that. Girl. I know you're not lying because I don't believe like I'm psychic or anything, but I think human beings are tapped in, and it just depends on the effort, okay? Technology, capitalism, AI, all that stuff has kind of made us venture away from our nature, right? I do feel like humans do have more senses. Like, I have felt that before where like I just get overcome with like a sadness that I know isn't me type shit. So like when you over here saying like you just felt like the tears swell up like you about to cry, yeah, nah. No, mama, a ghost behind you. No, no. Talk about I gotta stop. I got babies. Oh my goodness. Story number 3 is a throwback. And it's kind of a combo of me and my ex-boyfriend's story combined. Because I can't explain my story without telling his. So let's get into it. When I was 18, I was dating this boy who was also 18, and we're going to call him Zay. Zay used to come over to my mom's house to see me when he could, and sometimes he would spend the night. Now, he was from the South, so he honestly just behaved way differently than anyone that I've met. I'm from the West Coast. So he was very kind and well-mannered and very respectful, especially of my mom and him being a guest in her home. So I say that just to say when he would spend the night, he would sleep downstairs instead of in my room because it said it made him feel more comfortable because it's my mom's house. Okay, Southern gentleman, what did he do? You said that's your ex. What did he do? We love ourselves a gentleman. However, all that was really beside the point because, you know, we was still down there, girl. I'm over here giving him props. No. Anyways, here's where it gets juicy. After we finish up doing the do in the damn living room, we lay down and sleep in our little blanket that we done made up, right? And as we're getting settled in, I'm talking to him, but not looking at him. I ask him something quick and quickly notice he stopped responding. So I turn my head and I look at him and he's like frozen, like not moving. Okay. Is he okay? Is he having sleep paralysis, girl? Did you just like put that thing on him and now he's like frozen? Like what is happening, bro? Like honestly, at this point, I blame the Ouija board because why is this happening to you? So I'm like, babe, what are you looking at? And all of a sudden he snaps out of it and it's like nothing and starts laying his head down to go to sleep. I'm like, nah, what did you see? So he starts telling me the story from when he was a kid. And oh my God, here we go. I guess one night he was in bed asleep and he woke up and had to go to the bathroom. So he gets up, walks down the hall, goes to the bathroom about 5 feet away from the stairs. So when he's done, he comes out and freezes. Apparently he locked eyes with something at the bottom of the stairs and was paralyzed. So did you bring your little spirit up in my house? I'm gonna spray him with Raid. Let me bring that in here. Apparently, he locked eyes with something at the bottom of the stairs and was paralyzed. He said the thing was huge and looked like it ran on all fours. It had razor-sharp claws and red eyes. Oh my God. And an ear-to-ear smile revealing to be thousands of teeth. Zay tried to run when the thing began to climb the stairs, but he could not move, and it got closer and closer. When it came to the second step, from the top, he was finally able to rip himself from the spot he was stuck in, and he bolted to his parents' room. So after listening to this story, I felt bad for my man because that's scary, and nobody should have to go through that. My thing is, what does that have to do with what you just saw? Like, what the fuck, bro? I would kick him out of my house. Like, girl, the spirits were telling you, like, no. Oh my gosh. I felt scared. Because what? So more than anything, I felt confused because what made you tell that story? So I asked him, what do you think you just saw in the dining room? He was like, what? But more than anything, I felt confused because what made you tell that story? So I said, Zay, what did you see just now in the dining room? He looked at me and hesitated, and then quickly he said, I saw that thing from upstairs. Girl, I was so shook and scared. This man just expected me to go to sleep. And I remember he didn't even like the cuddle, bro. And, you know, we was cuddling, bro, because that was scary. Oh, my God. Yeah, he would be gone. Not you over here bringing your antebellum spirit over here, bro. Like, what the fuck? No, this better be why he's an ex, right? Well, that's all my spooky stories to date, y'all. I'm sorry if I'm a little long-winded and my punctuation isn't always correct, but I appreciate y'all for listening. Love y'all. Naja, keep making amazing content. Thank you, girl. I love it when I'm on my mommy breaks and I get to do my, let's say, my gardening. One time, my little boo thing came over and he gonna walk in talking about, are you watching a Superhead documentary? You different. I know that's right. Some of y'all, speaking of the Superhead documentary, yeah, okay, sorry, Pineapple, I am reading the revised version. I just feel like that was time sensitive. I gotta let you know. I'm reading the revised one. But for those of you guys that have been tagging me, you know what book I'm reading next. Every one of you that's tagged me in it, I've responded. I got the book in the mail yesterday. I actually pre-ordered it a week ago, so I gave Miss Mamas my coins. If you know, you know. But y'all know I like to do the who am I thing, so I'm not going to spoil it. But if you have tagged me all this week in that book, just know she is downstairs. She is here. We're going to read her. And I love that y'all are like into my book reviews and stuff because bitches don't read, bruh. People do not like to read. Literacy is, as y'all can see, what's going on in the world. So even if it is a video, like, and I'm encouraging y'all to get on audio books or Audible or whatever, like, I'm all for it. So yes, talking about you different. I know that's right. But needless to say, girl, I love your content. Thank you for blessing us and congrats to you and Daniel. Thank you so much, Buki. Yeah, that would be an X for sure. For sure, that would be an X because no. You said reading is fun. I be having to stop myself from reading it all. Me too. I usually set myself a limit of 2 chapters a day. But if it's really, really good, I will do 3. Like if I have like no work, no videos to edit, nowhere to be, I'll sit in the bed and read 3 chapters. And y'all always say we should do a book club, but I feel like it's hard when you're not niched out with a genre because I'm so all over the place. Like I like reading celebrity memoirs, but I also like reading like thrillers, like mystery, stuff like that. I also like reading self-help. I also like reading historical not biographical. Well, yeah, I guess biographical because they're not writing it, right? That would be an autobiography if they wrote it. Yeah. Speaking of literacy. But yeah, I like reading I know I'm not speaking about it publicly, but I do like reading political stories because history repeats itself. So I like reading like historical dramas and stuff like that. Like I'm kind of all over the place. So at most, I feel like I can make like a list on my storefront of like all the books that I buy. And then like if y'all want to buy it, we could do it that way. I just feel like a book club, it would just be a little bit too much. But I think we could do that. So at least we're all reading the same shit, right? And you can know what to expect from me. Shoot, I'm all for ideas. Let me know in the comments. I'm all for ideas. But let's get to this next story, which is really what made me want to get on live and read this because this is insane. Family of predators. Okay? Family of predators. Milo says, what if you did a forum? I have learned my lesson with forums, okay? I did forums when I first got on YouTube. I have learned my lesson. That's why I don't have a Discord. I'm sure there's a Discord out there for you guys to speak, but I'm not running it. Like, I don't run Discords. I don't run forums. I don't have none of that because somebody always makes it weird. Somebody always uses the forum for like their own personal thing, and it never ceases to amaze me. It always happens. It always happens. Like, I can't do a forum. I'm so sorry. I can't. I would much rather have a physical meetup book club where we all meet up at the Barnes and Noble, like, than do a forum again. It's just too much. I even had a girl the first week the forum was open. No shade to her. She gonna post her boyfriend on there talking about he gay. You just got this little white boy on my forum, and then you like 17, 16. Bro, I'm grown as fuck. Like, so yeah, the forums just get a little too much. Like, right, rest in peace to the Wix forum, bro, because it would just get too much. It was too much. But yeah, let's get into this next story. The family of predators. Trigger warning, obviously, essay and grooming and stuff, right? I'm going to censor it as much as I can, though. Right, Darian says Discords are messy. That's why I never use them. They're always messy because even when the creator isn't in there, people be up in there talking shit. It's just like, what are we doing, bro? I love my Patreon, though. Like, I could just send y'all, a group text that way, for real. Okay. Hey, Naja. Hey, friend. I will keep this short because I had to rewrite it because I realized I gave too much details and I don't want to trigger anybody too bad, especially because it's already a triggering topic. Well, we appreciate that, girl. We really do. So trigger warning, essay. Basically what happened was I was at my uncle's party. It wasn't like a family party. He just invited some of his friends and some of our cousins. We were all drinking, having fun. And it was technically my first party without my parents being there. Like a family type party. And I was genuinely having a good time until this happened. I went outside to get some air because it was so hot inside. My cousin followed me outside and we sat down on a bench. We were talking about random stuff. And then all of a sudden, what? All of a sudden he whispered in my ear that he wants to do some things and that he's packing. Was this cousin like your age? Was he older than you? Was he younger than you? Like, okay, you said your cousin was 29 at the time and she was 18. So she shouldn't even have been drinking. So your family is already just doing some weird shit. And this is the first time you were by yourself. Yeah, they're plotting. They were plotting on you, bro. They were plotting on you. And you're supposed to be able to trust your family. Like, what the fuck? And he said stuff that I can't even repeat because it was just very bold and descriptive. Hello? He was drunk at first. I didn't know what to think, so I just laughed it off and told him straight up, you are a grown-ass man, and we are family. Like, that's incest. Mind you, I thought he would be joking. A disgusting joke. But unfortunately, he was actually serious and didn't want to do stuff. And was even like, we could hook up in the room. Bro, when I tell you I would have my phone pulled out so quick recording this dude, bro, like what? Because like who would believe that he would say that? What the fuck? Naja, his fiance and my uncle were in front of us when he was doing this. So she's okay with this? Naja, why was this man trying to convince me we weren't blood related and was telling me that our family are just really close and we just call each other cousins, but we aren't blood related? Last time I checked, his dad and my mom are brother and sister, which makes us that makes you first cousins. That's disgusting. He knows better. And then the fact that y'all are 10 years apart, he's seen you as a baby. He's seen you grow up. He's sick. So regardless if y'all were blood or not, you seen this girl as a baby. Regardless if you're blood or not, and you didn't see her as a baby, if your family is that close, that is a breach of trust. I just want to know, like, so was auntie or fiance cousin and uncle just looking up into the sky, like, while this is going on? No, for real, I agree with Gwendolyn. I feel like the family know he like this because, like, why are we, like, we just pretending like he's not saying this out-of-pocket ass shit right now? Honestly, it sounded like he was trying to convince himself of his actions to make himself feel better because he knows what he was saying was dead wrong. I had another experience with my grandma's husband. What the fuck? My grandma's husband, again, trigger warning, did stuff with me while my grandma was in the hospital. Oh, that nigga's sick. Because she almost had a stroke. Wow. She was there in the hospital because of him. She has heart problems, and this man will find anything to argue about and gets her all riled up when she's supposed to be calm and relaxed because of her heart problems. Thankfully, my grandma and my uncle believed me. That's what's up. That's what's up. Because I'm like, uncle, hello. Like, and then, uncle, you know that you have an underage person at your house drinking. Like, that should be your main focus. Because I get it, on some southern shit, you know, your jit turn 18, they graduate high school, you give them a little champagne or whatever, right? But it's your responsibility. That is your responsibility. Like, that is your kin. That's your responsibility, bro. Like, if you want to be on that country shit and have an 18-year-old getting drunk, I'm gonna need you to watch them, not ship them off to the fucking wolves. Again, Naja and co and the tribe do not endorse underage drinking. I'm just keeping it a bean. I realize this happens. Why are you not watching her? Seriously. Oh my God. Thankfully, the grandma and the uncle believed her. I only told them about my step grandpa and not my cousin. I didn't see the point because he didn't actually try to physically do something to me. But I'm not gonna lie, Naja, ever since that party, he gives me those type of hugs. Like when you give a guy a hug and they be on your waist. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. He crossed the line. I would let them know, just in case there's other young girls around. You know, like I would just let them know if there's other young girls around. Now, I do get a little concerned for you because what you went through is really traumatic. And I do get a little concerned that if you were to come up to them about cousin, they probably wouldn't act the same as your grandma's boyfriend. Your grandma's boyfriend's not blood. He's not family. He's easily replaceable. I could see them being like, damn, this is so fucked up. How could this happen to us? Our family, our kid, you know, our blood. Cousin is your blood. It's going to get a little dicey. It's going to get a little dicey because it's way easier for people to dismiss it when it's not incestuous. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, man, that's fucked up. That dude's nasty. You know, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Let's figure out how to move on. But when it's family, somebody that's never going to go away for real, people start acting different. And I just feel, she said, I feel like with the cousin, drunk words are sober thoughts. And I'm starting to think that he really did have those intentions. Unfortunately, some of my family started to victim blame me, especially because his sister is married to my uncle. Almost his whole family is emerged with mine and was saying that I wasn't a good person. And because I smoked the devil's lettuce, I was basically asking for it. No, see, that's that shit that be pissing me off. And I knew that was going to end up happening with him. Because it's like they're trying to keep the peace. They're trying to keep it kosher and brush it under the fucking rug. When it's like not only did uncle see it, his fiance saw it too. And they all just about to pretend like that didn't fucking happen. My own cousin doesn't believe me. And I'm scared to come out and tell someone about my experience with my other cousin because his mom is the son of the main one who is victim blaming me and was spreading rumors that I had an OnlyFans. Okay, and what if you had an OnlyFans? I don't care if you popping it open on the corn hub, baby. You don't deserve for your weirdo ass cousin to come on to you. Like, that's weird. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to repeat this part. This is so sad, friend. I'm so sorry that this happened to you, bruh. This is the stuff that be making me like scared to have a little girl and bring a little girl into this world, bro. Cause what the fuck? Like, why do we, and anybody out there who has not been like anything that's happening to you, just know that you are so blessed, bro. Like, because I personally have not met any woman that hasn't had an experience, bro. I personally haven't. And if you are one, like, you are so blessed. I'm so glad your parents protected you. I'm so glad the adults around you protected you. Cause it's like, man, she just wrote an experience that happened to her when she was 15 on the school bus by a bunch of boys. And it's just like, man, like, it's just fucked up, bro. And basically, a family member was saying because that event happened to her that she's like fast, pretty much. Man, all I know is if I have a son, he better get some stripes for fucking squaring up with these type of little boys, because this is so fucked up. That family member knows I blame myself for that incident till this day. And I think if I wasn't, and I think like if my actions were different, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Like, I don't know what to do. Should I go to the police? Like, would that have done anything? Because I don't have any proof that any of this happened. How do you deal with victim blaming with your own family, and how to stop blaming yourself when things get out of control and you completely just freeze? I asked myself, why didn't I scream or just like do anything? Any advice from you and the tribe is appreciated. Thank you for listening to me. Love you guys, and I hope you have a good rest of the week. So, here, I'm going to put the chat up here too. So she said, just to clear up some typos too. The cousin who was inappropriate with her, the mom is the main one that's victim blaming. I'm sure she is, because she don't want to admit that her 30-year-old son came on to a teenager that is his blood, his first cousin. Like, that's weird. And then, unfortunately, bro, I've come in contact with a lot of people in my life that have had inappropriate relationships with an older cousin. Like on some, your grandma and your mama was pregnant at the same time, and now you have a cousin or an uncle that's like 30 and you're like 15. Unfortunately, I have come in contact with a few people that share that same story. So like, for them to just completely, like, you were a child last year. He's been an adult for over 10. Like, they got you fucked up, bro. I honestly just would not talk to them no more, bro. I would just be like, don't want to talk to you. And I wouldn't want to be around him either. I would just be like, I don't want to be any events where he's at. I don't want any of my younger, if you have kids, I wouldn't bring them kids around him or any of them, because they're not, I wouldn't bring your kids around that uncle. I wouldn't bring your kids around that cousin. I wouldn't bring your kids around the cousin's mama, your auntie. No. And she said the aunt is the one, not the grandma that made the rumor about the OnlyFans. Yeah, bruh. Now you said, could you go to the police? I mean, you can't really go to the police about grooming, unfortunately. Like, that's all your cousin was doing. He was feeling out the waters, trying to groom you and see what he could get away with being weird, right? Yeah, bruh, there's really nothing you could do legally. My advice to you is like the same thing I told old girl in the other story: traumatize them back. you bring, anytime uncle gets brought up, oh, you mean that uncle that watched when, you mean the uncle that let me drink at his house and watched Cuzzo like come on to me and was looking the other way? Every time that cousin or that auntie, I'll be like, ew, you mean them? They, they're weird. Like, y'all on some hillbilly shit. Like, I know it hurts you, but if I were you, I would like laugh at them so you can put the shame back that way. Like, I'd be like, y'all nasty. I don't want to be around y'all. Like, oh, or like you find out you about to have a kid. My kid not about to be around y'all nasty asses. That's crazy. Like, you know, that's really all you could do is make them feel uncomfortable. I wouldn't be silent around other family members. Like maybe you have other cousins or another side of the family. I would just be very vocal because other people will appreciate. The ones that do have young children that don't play that shit, they'll appreciate it. So yeah, I would just be very, very vocal. I'll just be very vocal. I just want you to know that you're not wrong in how you're feeling of on some like, damn, why ain't nobody taking up for me? Like, you're not wrong, bro. Everybody listening in this chat does not think that you're in the wrong. Like, your family is fucked up. They're trying to protect somebody that does not deserve protection. That is a grown-ass man. That is a grown-ass man. And then the fiance is giving, oh, my man not gonna cheat on me with something. And it's like, bitch, that is his family. Like, that's weird. So, you know that other family that's like super enmeshed or whatever? Whenever they come around your space, just bring it up. Bring it up all the time. Make it uncomfortable for people, bro. Since you want to be uncomfortable, let's all be uncomfortable. But we're not sweeping this under the rug. We're all going to be uncomfortable together. Okay? Let me read the chat. Let's see. Agora says, same shit happened to me. I have a son and daughter now, and I refuse to let anyone other than me watch them, period. I would allow some distance from the family, a lot, possibly, and focus on building your own community. No, I agree with that too. Because imagine you have kids and they act the same way. No, that's what I'm saying. I know you're only 18, but like these are things to think about. Let's see. Working in social services, these stories are unfortunately very common. That's what I'm saying. I've met a few people, men and women, that have confided in me because I confided in them about my, you know, childhood SA story and everything. And they told me like, yeah, that happened to me, but unfortunately it was my family member. And I'm like, fuck, like you really supposed to trust your family. Like that must have really hurt you in ways I can't even fucking imagine, right? That's a different type of distrust. And yeah, it is common. People don't talk about it. You said, I wish I had advice, but when it comes to my family, I keep things that has happened to me and to myself. I just distance myself from family because I know how they react to certain things. Man, and I'm sorry you got to do that. Like, I hope you have somebody that you could talk to because keeping it in will bubble over and you'll start getting stress symptoms like how your grandma has her heart condition and stuff. That is from stress. That's from holding in all these fucking secrets and shit. When you do that for decades on decades on decades, it starts affecting your health. The saddest part is that there are truly women out there who will assist the man in doing such an act. No, for real, because what was the cousin's fiance doing? Just standing there, pretending she can't hear what's going on? Crazy. Crazy. Justice with a Y, I love that name, says, most of my family don't fuck with me to this day because I do that. I'm like the family Cat Williams. No, dead ass. I'm that way too. That's why I think that's why nobody anyway really be fucking with me. Because it's like, I don't have anybody in my family that did anything, thank God. But my family's not perfect. So like when I do speak up, they be like, oh, here she go. Oh, brother. Oh my gosh. No, for real. I had a feeling. No worries. I'm glad that you submitted your stuff in. Like, I'm sending you all the strength your way. And I know her ass was staring hard because that's that denial. That's that denial. Because the fact that he did that in front of her lets me know that he talks to other women in her face. Period. Because what he did with you was so taboo. So, yeah, he's a fucking mess. He's a fucking mess. I would definitely give them some space. And if they're like, why don't you come around no more? Because I would even throw it in their face like, man, y'all really had my back when it came to the step grandpa. But y'all really dropped the ball when it came to that other incident that you mentioned with the school bus and the cousin. Like, I would just constantly just bring that up. Like, man, I was having such a good childhood until, like, y'all really just ruined it. Like, bruh, I'm telling you, you got to share this shame with me. Like, because it's a heavy burden. I'm not about to carry this shit by myself. Talking about that family hate to see me coming, boy. Shout out to Kayla. Kayla said, Naja, I love your videos. They keep me entertained while I'm doing stuff around the house. Sending love from España. Love from Spain. I know that's right. All right. We have another mom story. Damn. The mama's catching flack this week. The mama's catching flack. Shout out to all my Sagittarius mamas. My mom's birthday is next week. Having a Sagittarius mother is not for the weak. It's not for the weak, bitch. It's not for the weak, man. All right. Separation from my mom. Make sure you guys are liking the stream. Please, please, please like the stream. Okay. We've been out here for an hour and 30 minutes. Let's go. Hey, Naja, and hey, Tribe. I have submitted a couple stories in the past. I submitted one about the guy who stole from me and one about the campus stalker. I remember the campus stalker one. I decided to submit another story because I love the live stream and I want to support it. Yes, please send in your stories if you like this segment. That's what keeps it going. I appreciate you. So now we are going to get into a more serious and personal story, though. So I'm going to let you guys know again, trigger warning. I'm going to do my best to censor it out because I'm not trying to get triggered myself. And I appreciate the last person for revising the story also because I could tell they went in and, cleaned it up. So my mother and I have always had very complicated relationship. For context, both of my parents are older. My dad was in his 50s and my mom in her 40s when they met. Damn. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with being an older parent, but I get it because now I'm 20 years old and y'all are like 65. Like, I get it. That's different. You as a 20-something are now preparing for your parents to end their life. Like, and that's something people don't have to do until they're usually in their like late 30s, mid 40s. Man, that's heavy. I'm a Capricorn and my mom is a Leo. Shout out again to the Leos. If you're a Capricorn, put your sign in the chat. So I'm an only child with several step siblings and cousins who I grew up with. My dad was always traveling for work when I was growing up, so I would only see him about 20% of the year. And I did not have a father-daughter relationship with him. I was born with a chronic illness. Oh, wow. That I have to manage to a smaller capacity today that would have been in the hospital for months as a child. Oh. My mom stayed at home and took care of me through all of it. Aside from being ill at times, I had a decent home life up until I got to middle school. My parents would separate and my dad moved out the house. This would take a toll on my mom because she had not been working all my life and we struggled financially for years. I also noticed as I grew older, I was treated very differently by my mom. She would make little comments about my weight, calling me too skinny, saying I wouldn't attract boys if I looked like girl. Even though I was dealing with my stomach issues and I'm naturally slim, she said all of this. She was very conservative and would not allow me to wear leggings, skirts, dresses, or hoodie. See, that whole conservative shit is just so ass backwards. It makes no sense. So, like, you want your prepubescent, chronically ill daughter to attract the male gaze. But at the same time, we can't wear leggings. We're not wearing skirts. We're not wearing certain dresses. We're not going to be, she said, we're not wearing anything that's deemed hood or slutty. Mama was very colorist and would force me to get my hair permed. Oh my God. My mom is Caribbean and very outspoken, and she would tell me these things as a joke, but in reality, these were like strong rules for me to follow. Living with her, I felt like I had no autonomy. That is scary. That is very scary. Like, a dictator. I didn't even think about that. You got an old Caribbean mama. Not a Caribbean grandmama. You got an old school Caribbean mama putting all of her old school too skinny, too dark, wrong texture on you. I like, mama, it's 2024. Like, by the time I got to high school, I really blossomed. I was starting to make friends, get into hobbies, be independent. I could tell my mom was becoming resentful of me growing up. I believe she really enjoyed having a child or a baby, but not a teenager. I will admit that I became very rebellious. I started smoking the devil's lettuce, sneaking out, and skipping class. I believe this is because my life was so restricted, and I did not even think my mom realized that she was being so restrictive. I wasn't allowed to listen to music. I had to wear headphones all the time. I oftentimes had to watch what she wanted on TV. My mom would disapprove of my friends if she thought they were... This is insane. She was colorist to that extent. She said, your friends can't come over if they're too dark. I just don't understand the prejudice, bro. Like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? This is crazy. If I did have friends over, so they had to pass the paper bag test to come up in that, like, I wouldn't even want nobody in there. She would sit and try to be part of the convo the entire time. It was very frustrating for my younger self because I just wanted to break free, but also understood my role as the only daughter. Me and my mom were very close when I was growing up, so I really did try my best to do what she wanted to keep the bond. I just felt so judged all the time. Man, this is messed up. Eventually, my mom and dad would get divorced. I had to choose which parent I wanted to go to, and since I did not know my father at the time and was close with my mom, it was an obvious answer. Because my mom did not anticipate that my father would be keeping the house, and she did not have a job or savings, we would become homeless for 8 months. See, your daddy ain't shit. Because that's when he should have put his foot down and said, yeah, you're not going to have anywhere to live but my house. So you're living with me. You're under my custody. Your daddy ain't shit for that. During these 8 months of homelessness is when I really learned about who my mom was, and things started to get messy between us. We would couch surf from state to state looking for a place to stay. We tried staying with her side of the family, and we stayed with my aunt, who was schizophrenic. During my time staying there, parts of my things would go missing. One night, I was walking to my room to go to bed, and my aunt randomly threw me down the stairs? The straw that broke the camel's back was that my aunt would keep it at a specific temperature for bed and told us under any circumstance, do not touch the thermostat. My mom moved the temperature up as soon as my aunt went to bed, knowing this woman gets violent. And we ended up getting kicked out the house with all of our stuff after only staying there for 2 days. Oh my God. No shade, because I know this was traumatic for you, but like, damn, mama, maybe if you wasn't so fucking colorist and prejudiced, you would have more options of where you could fucking stay. Then, after that, we would be sleeping in the car or in bandos for the next couple months. Oh my God. It was like every friend that my mom and I tried to stay with, they would get into an argument with my mom and we would be on the streets. I started to realize my mom's erratic behavior and temper would get us into all types of trouble. Eventually, she got a job and was able to save up some money for us to rent a house. Then the pandemic struck a year after and we ended up homeless again. We have been through a lot together. I was always rooting for her, but it was like every time things would be going good, she would just get into another argument with her boss and get fired. Or she was trying to, it seems like your mom has a problem with authority. She was trying to start another business that unfortunately failed. She struggles with her own spiritual psychosis and would say that God was going to fix it or get a new spiritual course to focus on, thinking that it would bring her a miracle. My mom even said that she felt like there was a demon attached to her trying to ruin her life. Oh my God. And she even tried to get multiple exorcisms. See, look, this is a lot. This is a lot. Like, what? With each year, we were arguing more and more, and she would get in random moods and just lash out on me. Even when I was in college, one time I had reconnected with my father, and he invited me back home and had a job offer lined up for me to go to modeling school and make some money. See, I'm glad that your dad finally stepped up, but honestly, too little too late, motherfucker. You should have put your foot down and got custody of that teenager. Like, what were you when they broke up? Like 14, you said? 13, 14, right? Yeah, wow, 4 years, high school. Like, come on, bro. You couldn't have done that. You got your daughter living in fucking shelters and on the street and shit. What? Wow. My mom was driving us back to where we moved from and randomly started an argument. I was quiet mostly during the car ride because I was taking in seeing my father again and a little bit anxious about going back to my hometown. My mom took this as me being rude and having an attitude, so she threw me out of the car and sped off. When I got my footing, she drove around me laughing and making fun of me, pretending she was gonna hit me. Has she lost her fucking mind? She would tell me to get back in the car, and as soon as I opened the door, she would speed off and almost hit me. So oh my God. Girl, I just got a fear in me that I know that you just said fuck it, because I don't know if I could say this to my Caribbean parent, even though he's not my favorite person or parent right now. Baby said fuck you to her Caribbean mama. She looked that lady in the face and said, fuck you. Because of this, she said the worst thing she said it was the worst thing a daughter could ever say to her mother. And she threw my stuff on the side of the road and left. I had to wait in the rain for my father to drive 3 hours to come and get me. I would forgive her. What? I would forgive her and try to mend our relationship time and time again, but she would always end up kicking me out early in the morning, blowing up my phone with hundreds of text messages, harassing me when I was in college, and even calling the police on me and telling the neighbors I was physically abusing her. Last year, I tried to have her back in my life and really mend our relationship. Baby, you better than me, because as soon as you start playing with my life with a fucking automobile, we're done. I don't give a fuck if you my mama, my daddy, my sister, brother, cousin, pastor. I don't give a fuck. We're done. And honestly, that fuck you would have probably felt really good coming out. Like, it is what it is. Let me know if y'all feel the same way. I know somebody out there is like, Naja, no. But look. Last year, I tried to have her back in my life and mend the relationship. I would see her every single Sunday for dinner and watching TV. I know that she's isolated herself and has no friends, no partner. At the time, didn't have a job, and barely interacts with anyone on a daily or even weekly basis. I morally could not leave her alone. My mom would get upset with me if I canceled on her, even one time, because I was overwhelmed and tired from work and school. Sunday was my only day off, and I still worked mornings. Damn. I still had some boxes I was keeping at her house because I forgot about them, and they were from my childhood. One day I get a call from my mom, and when I answer, she's telling me about me calling her colorist and one of my old journals. Now she read your diary. I told her it was an invasion of privacy to do that, and also opening a random page and taking it out of context is very unfair to me. It has been so many years since I wrote in those journals that I probably don't even know what situation she's talking about. But she said, okay, I'm going to get rid of it. But why are you going through what the fuck? Honestly, bro, I would have just took all them boxes. Like, as soon as I got settled in my spot, I would take all them boxes. But for the girl that sent in the first story, do you see why you don't double back once you get on? Because once you get on your feet, you double back. They want to bring you back down. They want to bring you right back down because they cannot grasp that they actually created something better than themselves. And it's like, is that not the whole point of reproduction? It's to create a person who can achieve more than you have achieved. Like, I would hope that your kid is doing better than you type shit, right? Like, that doesn't mean you did the worst. It just means you did what you were supposed to do. So why are we trying to, like, what? A mess. Shout out to Terrell in the chat. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. You do not have to, but I appreciate it when you do. They said, oh my goodness, I'm late as hell, but hey tribe, like the stream. Also, I've been watching your old lives and they have been connecting recently. Lots of love. Well, I'm glad. I try to keep it a bean on here. I try to keep it legit. I try to update y'all as much as I can and share as much knowledge as I can with y'all along the way, because I mean, I also don't come from a perfect family. I also didn't have people. I came from teen parents. I didn't have people telling me the ropes or showing me game or none of that. So, yeah, I'm glad that things are starting to connect up and I can help in any way I can. Oh, this is a hard transition, y'all. Oh, my gosh. Trigger warning. Shout out to Ebro in the chat. What's up from Africa? That's crazy. So, trigger warning, y'all. I'm sorry what I'm about to say. Because, you know, mama is going through her journals and shit, right? A week passes and I'm at work and I get a text saying, who SA'd you? I'm going to handle this with a little bit of grace. Mama, what you do is you have a phone call. We need to talk in person. You don't text somebody that. You don't text somebody that, and then you texting it as if it's her fault. Like, what happened to you? Like, what? This caught me off guard and made me stop what I was doing. My mom begins spamming me, asking who was touching on you, when did this happen, sending me pictures of my journal. My heart sank. Here's my thing. Mama, you dropped the ball because now you have a grown ass woman as a daughter, right? This is your youngest child, fully grown. You have children that are in their fucking 40s and shit, right? Why is this not your first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time having a child, and you don't know that if there is a time to read a diary or a journal to make sure kids ain't, you know, getting abused, you missed the deadline. You should have been did that. You should have been checked in. It's too late now. That's crazy. And no, you're right, Chloe. The old heads are like this because because I told y'all, my mom was a teen parent. So her mother is their mother's age, right? And because this generation will go through your clothes, they'll go through your closet, they'll look under your bed, they'll go through your journals, they'll read your notes and shit. My mom always gave me that privacy, like always. Now, there were some times, because I am a writer, I've done a little stuff, not gonna put no blame. I do feel like there are signs with child SA that you can see in kids' artwork and writing and stuff. I give my mom grace because she was a young mom and didn't know, right? But yeah, you dropped the ball, bro. That's that shit you should have did when it was relevant. When it was relevant. Like, what the hell? Hey, we got somebody up in here in Nambia. That's crazy too. Much love. So the mama's just spamming her. What happened? When did it happen? What's going on? Why is she reading it after I told her to stop reading it? Writing has always been my first love since I was able to pick up a pencil. I'm a poet and I use my journals as a safe space and a way to talk to God. It felt so invasive and disrespectful that she knew this and still read it. She proceeds to say that spirit led me to read it, and I'm glad that I did. No, baby, you're bored. You're bored. You don't have a job. You got nothing to do but go through fucking boxes. That's what happened. Spirit did not tell you to do none of that. Like, what? She goes on about how I'm a liar for not telling her. I'm manipulative and demonic and starts making fun of me for having depression. What the fuck is wrong with this woman? She even said that she tried to protect me from predators, but maybe I was too outgoing and friendly as a child, and that's why this happened, and it was my fault. Well, it is not your fault, like, at all. This is insane. Your mom should have protected you better. She was too old, and she should have known better. She was too old to say she didn't know better. And if I were you, I would, hit up your siblings and, like, ask them about their upbringing and what was going on with them, because why is this your reaction? Since then, I have decided to go no contact with my mother. As heartbreaking as it has been, trying to wrap my head around everything that went down, I no longer see myself wanting her in my life anymore. Is this wrong of me to leave a lonely 60-something-year-old mother alone? I felt very conflicted because I do not trust her anymore, but I still worry about her well-being and want to be around her. Thank you for reading this. I know it was a long one. Any advice would be appreciated. So, quiet as it's kept, you are the baby sibling. So, unfortunately, the youngest sibling usually does feel that responsibility because they are the last ones in the house type of thing. Like, all the older siblings are moved out. You're the last one. You feel like you have to take care of her. No, you don't. You got to move on. She is so toxic. She really needs to work through her own stuff. And unfortunately, when you get to this age and you show no yearning for change, it's not going to happen. She needs to want to do it for herself, because it seems like everybody else is the problem but her. She's getting into all these arguments because everybody else is the problem but her. And just like the girl in the first story, I feel like you made the right decision because she proved that she was just going to drag you down. You're no longer a little kid. You're a grown-ass woman. Like, you can't do these little antics. Grown-ass people pay their own phone bills and can block you. So, like, grown-ass people pay their own bills and don't need you, right? Now, when it comes to somebody joking, talking about putting her in the nursing home, you have older siblings that are in their 40s, in their 30s, right? They'll be there when your mama, needs that. They have been preparing for it longer. You are kind of in an accelerated space because of the age that your parents decided to have you, right? But I don't blame you for cutting her off. I hope she enjoys her alone time, child, because she deserved it. And I'm just sorry that all that stuff happened to you, and she had the nerve to actually verbalize that it was your fault. Like, that's insane to me. I hope that you have a better relationship with your dad, because yeah, that is just, that's I'm cheering at the no contact part. I know that's right. Well, that is the last story that I'm going to read today. I was going to read my biggest red flag, but it's not family oriented. And I feel like we had a lot of family stories this week, so I just wanted to keep it on that vibe. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for coming up in here and chilling with me and giving some advice. I know some of these stories were a little on the heavier side. I tried to censor it as much as I could, so hopefully I didn't trigger anybody. Someone in the chat said, when we are in the nursing homes, do you think our generation is going to be playing baddies? Look, that I'm telling you, bro, that nursing home will humble you. Like, you don't even have to piss off kids to end up in a nursing home. Like, sometimes that's just a part of the human life cycle, at least in America, because now we have so many medicines and machines that can just keep us living way longer than we're supposed to be fucking living, so that we could just squeeze all the money out of you, right? But yeah, like, it doesn't seem like her mama really got shit. So it's like she would be footing the bill to put her in a nursing home. That's why I'm saying let your older siblings handle it. Let your older siblings handle it. Trust me. You said you're the only girl too? Oh, she's about to have a bad awakening. You're the only girl? Oh, you're about to have a bad awakening. Unless one of your older siblings marries a very good woman, mama's probably going to die in there by herself. Because statistically, the women, children, that's why people say, I know that nobody wants to have girls these days, but statistically, women children, femme children, are the caregivers for the elderly. Statistically, the sons, they don't give a fuck. They will leave their parents shitting on themselves in an apartment in Section 8. They don't give a fuck. I'm talking, they'll even leave the ashes. Didn't Shira say that? They will leave the ashes at the crematorium and never pick their people up. Like, they statistically don't take care of their elderly parents. So hopefully your older siblings marry into a good family because with a mother or with a wife that, damn, and then your mama just so difficult because it's like, damn, God forbid he has a beautiful dark-skinned wife that takes stands on business, and because this bitch is just so prejudiced and just, God forbid, right? Like, so she's gonna have a rude awakening. I just wouldn't make that your problem. Because that's just crazy. She's crazy. That's what I'm saying. They don't even take care of their own kids, let alone you want them to take Oh my gosh. Hey to anybody that just got in here, but I'm about to wrap this up. Make sure you guys like the video before you leave. Keep your fingers crossed for me that my hard drive just works. But you know what? I'm about to go downstairs and just keep on editing. Just edit. Give me some strength because bitch, I've been wanting to but I've been holding it together. Give me some strength. I know it's all gonna pay off, but it's literally just stress. Like, I don't have like cravings. It's literally just whenever I'm stressed, I'd be like, damn, I could really. But yeah, it has been officially, it's been 10 days. So happy 10-day dry anniversary for me. I will give little Spodisha a treat for y'all. And make sure you guys like on your way out and leave a comment before you go. Thanks to everybody who submitted a story. If you want your story on my segment, the email is in the description, okay? Make sure we're censoring receipts if you send them in. Make sure we're using fake names. And make sure some time has passed, too, before you tell these stories if it's not time sensitive. Damn, my neighbor just loves revving his little car up. But yes, I love you guys. I told y'all I'm gonna start saying I love y'all more ever since the world is just going to shit, bitch. Like, I hope y'all stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.